my second day of work at Raystown, the president and the vice president of the Raystown Striper Club come into my office with the chief ranger at the time, and they were in the middle of a controversy. For a fisherman, there's never any fish, there's never enough fish, and the fish are always hiding someplace a fisherman's not allowed to fish. That's the rule of the game. And the channel for the Tanner gates, it's a long cut in rock, and it's buoyed off, so the boats can't get in there for safety reasons. Well, these striper fishermen had got the idea. They were sitting outside the buoy line. They were affixing their lures to little model power boats, remote control power boats. They were running their lures and they're on the backside of the Tanner gates, flipping them off, and then reeling back out and catching the stripers that were in there. And the stripers had learned, all we got to do is lay here and the food will come right by as the water flowed by. And of course that became a major controversy between the fishing club and my rangers, because my rangers were wanting to give them tickets all the time. And I just told the rangers, I said, well, we're in a different era now. I said, I think it's pretty innovative. If they lose a model boat, I don't care. You know, that's their problem. And so we resolved it in favor of the Striper Club, and they became one of the best management partners we had for the next 20 years. The Raystown project, there used to be an old hydroelectric dam that was established back about 1911 by the Pennsylvania Electric Company. A bunch of Italian immigrants actually came over and hand-built an old dam for just a few dollars a day, and ran for years and years and years, provided local electricity. Well, as a byproduct of that hydro dam, there was a small lake, about a quarter of the size of Raystown. It didn't go very far upstream. Fairly small by today's standards, but recreation started taking place around that lake.
We do boating, tubing with the grandkids, also do fishing. I have a small fishing boat that I've had since '84. I first started coming up here. The most beautiful lake on the East Coast that I know of. I've been from Maine to Florida, and this is one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever been to. That's why we keep coming back.
Back in '36, a lot of the U.S. was ravaged by some pretty major floods, and so the federal government got into the idea that we need to have flood control throughout the United States. So the seed for Raystown was probably planted back in 1936 with the Flood Control Act of 1936. So Raystown was built with the idea of flood control in mind. Recreation was the second priority.
We're sort of like rookie boaters. We're certainly, my family, we're certainly not professional boaters, so we come up here and it's usually pretty clumsy when we're trying to get the boat in or trying to get the boat out or just maneuvering the boat out there. We're kind of weekend warriors, not so much like lifers, so it's always pretty entertaining when we come up here. A little stressful, but we always have a good time.
You know, people are going to see it's sexist, but one of the funniest things in the world, I mean, every now and then, if you needed a moment of entertainment and you knew there was a fairly good storm rolling in on a heavy boating day, you know, you see the skies blackening and whatnot, if you needed a break, you just run to the nearest boat launch and watch husband and wives load their boats up. Because it was either the husband trying to direct the wife driving the boat, or she's trying to tell the husband how to load it, and every comic strip that was ever written about marital discord came into mind and into play.
A little over 2 years ago, some dear friends of ours told us about Raystown, and we just decided to do a quick trip up here, and we came back in the autumn to take some of the foliage, which was absolutely amazing. And we made some 20 by 30 poster prints of those, and we have them hanging throughout the house. And it's just been a destination that we wanted to get back to, but we're spending like 6 days in the area. We're actually going to do one of the lodges or cabins right on the water there at the Raystown Lake Resort. It's just beautiful here.
I think I could probably go as far as to say it's helped define who I am. I've spent many days, hours, probably months cumulative on Raystown Lake, water skiing, fishing, camping, just about everything you can do, hiking. I think one of the coolest things about it is I think the Army Corps was brilliant when they did their appropriation of land and didn't allow the development of homes within the lake. So you know, as you can see, it's preserved. There's no homes, there's no development, there's no growth. I mean, you've got the marina and some really cool places that allow people access to the lake, but there's not all the traffic, and you can find secluded areas and a lot of cool places, and that's probably what I like about it.
And then one of the things I noticed about Raystown when I got here, I worked 2 other core lakes before I came to Raystown. This one, I felt that the local community, people wanted to have a much bigger say in how the project was managed than any other place I'd ever been. And it was kind of restricted use. It was kind of restricted to the boaters. The only people that could boat on the lake were the people that had the cabins and the cottages, because they're the only ones that really had access.
So yeah, I started water skiing when I was 11 years old. I skied with my 2 brothers and one who was next older to me, who actually passed away back in '93.
Today, Scott will be attempting to get up on one ski for the first time ever.
Incorrect. I was up on one ski the previous.
There's no recorded proof of Scott one skiing ever, so.
I had a lot of memories of him now when we used to water ski, and there's a lot of competition about who could ski the best or the longest and do different tricks. We used to hold the rope in our mouth and put the rope between our legs. We thought we were real professionals. I would occasionally go out water skiing in jeans, and I nicknamed myself Jeans.
Nice day out here. Jeans, gonna accomplish a few new feats.
Looking back now, the video of it's pretty goofy, but it still has good memories, and I really enjoyed that a lot.
Raystown has 3 different ways to release water. You're looking at the 2 Tainer gates, which those 2 metal gates are 45 foot square. The lake is 26 feet up on the back side of those Tainer gates. So if we want to release water from the surface, we would simply start opening those gates up a little bit. And force of gravity look us down that concrete runway, and then at the bottom is a flip chute that sends it into the air. And it comes crashing down, and it has carved a pretty humongous pool there, but that's to oxygenate the water. That's why it sends it in the air, to dissipate some of the force of the water and to oxygenate it at the same time. Flood events, everything's out the window. We don't worry about whether or not people can boat. We don't worry about whether people can camp. Our main mission kicks in, and that is to prevent flooding downstream. So we embrace technology. We try to move ahead in a lot of technological areas. We try to manage the entire lake for all of its functions, not just flood control and recreation. So that's some of the things I'm proud of. I just had a ball for 25 years up here. It's fantastic.